Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I haven't uploaded for a while, but I've gotten something new, so let's review it. Today I'll be reviewing the Siemens Desiro HC from Era 6, made by Märklin in HO scale. This is Märklin number 38462 with NFX and DCC sound. Alright, let's open her up. Alright, let's first take a quick look at the instructions. So, as you can see, as I said before, this is number 38462. Here it tells you how to properly remove the pantograph, as you can't lift it on your own, as it's a self-rising pantograph, so you don't want to fully lift it. Here it shows you how to couple. We'll see how this goes later. I have heard this is pretty annoying to do. Here you see how to add the extra accessories. Here you have the table of content. Here I have all the NFX functions. Pause if you would like to read that, but I'll show it off later too. And here it is in English. Then these are all the different languages of the NFX functions. Then here you can see how to remove the middle rail and the rubber tires. Here you can see body removal, and here you can see how to lubricate the engine. Then here you can see where to lubricate the wheels. And here you can see the interior details. This is the front unit with the engine. As you can see, this is the engine. I think it's a 5-pole motor. I might not be sure. You can see it has two flywheels, which will have a nice slowdown effect. Here you can see the middle car. You get two of these. You can just see the interior details and the lighting, so it's pretty simple. And the same goes for the back car. Also has a self-rising pantograph, but for the rest, it's just pretty simple lights and interior details. Alright, let's move on to the locomotive. Right, here we go. As you can see, it has here the 4 different cars of the unit. I'll go by them one by one. First we have the lead unit. This is the unit with the engine. Let's focus it up for you. You can see the front bogie is rather detailed. This is a second class car. Here you can see the driver compartment. It doesn't come with a figure, but it has a windshield wiper, which looks nice. See here, Deutsche Bahn. Then here again, the express name, Deutsche Bahn again, second class. Here's the pantograph, and has a lot of roof detailing. It actually looks very nice, very impressive. You can see the fans, some batteries, some piping here. You can see the pantograph here in the back. Then talking about the back, this is the tunnel gateway. Looks pretty simple, but I think it also is prototypical. Then here we have the rather interesting coupling. This is something Märklin only does for multiple units, so they have a strong electrical connection. You can see the bogies again, and these wheels have these little holes. When moving slowly, look very nice. You'll see that later. Then here you can see the interior with the blue chairs, and here some more. So let's move on to the next unit. Alright, next up we have one of the passenger cars. We have 2 of these, and they look pretty much identical. But this one seems to be, another second class one. This one can have bikes. You can see the doors, you can see the stations where it will be going. Again, here you can see the same coupling, same doorway. This one has less roof detailing. This is relatively simple. And here you can see 2 fans and 2 batteries. It's made out of plastic. The whole train is made out of plastic. It's fair enough for EMUs, as it would be rather heavy if it were full brass. But some parts could be made out of brass, in my opinion. It's only the wheels that are made out of metal. The rest is all plastic. It's kind of disappointing. The rest is just chairs, all blue, looks nice. Next car. Alright, let's take a look at the 3rd passenger car. As mentioned, this one looks pretty much identical, if not identical. I can grab the other one for comparison. Yeah, so as you can see, they look identical. I think the only difference is the numbering on the little fronts and backs to make sure they're actually a different car. They're both second class, both can carry bikes, and both have 2 doors and 8 windows in total. they are identical. So we've already looked at this one. You go, the doors, same roof detailing. So let's move on to the end unit, which might be a bit more interesting. Alright, let's look at the final unit, the lead or back unit, depends on which way you're driving it. So, this is the only first class car of the train. This is the one with the power rail, which is interesting, as this is not the one with the engine, but it works. They all have these couplings, so it should just work. So, first class, here you can see, final door, here's some more sponsors by the look of it, or just company names that made this locomotive. Here you can see the cab again, you can see where it's going, windshield wiper. Again, lovely roof detailing. That's very nice of all these modern locomotives. It's what I really like about these. These are very nice roof detailing. Here again the pantograph, these will be self-rising, you'll see that soon. And again, it can have bikes in the second class compartment. Alright, here we have the locomotive and we're going to look at the closer details. So here you can see the manufacturer names. Then we can see here the bogies with some numbering here. It's pretty difficult to see, but I'll see if I can zoom in. Here you have second class. And then here you have some more numbering, looks nice. These lines actually close up do look annoying, as they aren't there in real life, but they have to be for the Märklin model, which looks fine, I suppose. Then if we move a bit more sideways, here we have the door. You can see the door release button over there. The door looks very nicely detailed. The glass looks very nice. You can see through, it looks realistic. Here you can see it's a little elevated bit, also looks nice. Then if we move a bit more here, you can see Franken Touring Express. Here we have Deutsche Bahn, second class again. And this is also where in real life the engine would be. That's where there's pretty much nothing here. Well, Märklin did the realistic thing and also put their engine in here, which I find pretty funny. So they just made it even more realistic doing that. Then we move all the way here. It's pretty much the same as the other side, just without the end. Here you have another wheel, you can see more chairs. There's something here, I bet that's the engine block. See these chairs halfway end, which looks okay. Personally, I just not do chairs then, because these chairs look like they're chopped in half. I don't think those look very comfortable to sit on. Here again, the door release button with fine glass looks nice, and then here's some more chair detailing. Then here we have the front of the locomotive. You can see it's operated by Deutsche Bahn. Here you can see the locomotive number. Here are the 3 headlights, windshield wiper, driver's seat, and there would be the drive controls. You can't see it from here. Then here you can see some more detailing. This is where the accessories would go. This way you can put the front coupling accessory. I won't probably fit it, but it's an option which you can do. Then here we have the back. This is the doorway. Here we have some more piping, and you can see a bit of the pantograph detailing, and here you can see the coupling. Nothing special going on at the back. So here at the top of the locomotive, here we have some batteries. Then if we move a bit more here, we have a ventilator. This one doesn't move, which is fair enough. It's far too small, I completely understand, and it looks very nice as is. Here have some more detailing. Here have some warning signs, as you should probably not walk on the top of this locomotive. And here we have some more piping, a generator, and then here's some bolts, which look very, very nice. The detailing on this roof is genuinely very impressive. And then here we have the pantograph, which looks absolutely beautiful. Here you can see the pantograph and wiring that leads to the pantograph. So the detailing on the front locomotive is very nice. So here we have the middle coach. As you can see, I've put the other coach on the background. This is because they are pretty much identical. As you can see, they have the same detailing here as there, and here in the middle it's also identical. So I'll just be going through this coach with you, and you can assume it's the same for the other one. Alright, so let's begin. Here you have the bogie, some nice detailing here, the wheels with some dots there, and then you have some lettering here. Here you have the window, you can see a chair there in the background, and you can see some ventilation shafts. If you move left a bit, you can see the door with the door release button, the windows, the door looks nice. You can't open, of course. Here I have a little window above the door. Move a bit more left. Here the main compartment. Again, 4 windows, Deutsche Bahn, bikes allowed. Here you can see the stations, which will light up. That will look very nice. Here's some more chairs with tables, and this is empty for the bikes. And then here, the same as on the other side, just an extra window here. You can see some tables and some chairs. Here too, another ventilation shaft and the same bogies. So, all in all, these look very nice. Alright, here we have one of the two middle cars. I'll grab the other one for you, but the tops are identical. There is no real difference. So on both of these cars you can see a little ventilator over there, over here, and some more generators and some wiring. And then this is all nothing, it's just simple roof. Looks nice, nice and streamlined. And then here again another ventilator and some more piping. So nothing interesting to see on the passenger wagons. And I managed to show this, but you've seen this 10 times by now. Here you have the doorway, here are some pipes and some more detailing and the same couplings. Nothing special going on, it's the same on all four sides of these coaches. As you can see, it's the exact same. Just like with the passenger wagons, here we have the leading or front unit. This is the first class unit, as you know, so this one's the other one. And it actually looks pretty much the same roof detailing wise. Here you can see the other locomotive for comparison, but their detailing is the exact same. So again, generator, fans, more box, more wiring, which is prototypical and makes sense. And it does indeed look very nice. We have the back unit, so this is first class. Here you can see the sponsors again. Then we have the same thing here at the bottom, nothing really different. If we move more to the left, you can see there's a huge engine block. So again, this also says Frankfurt Tunnelung Express, first class and second class. Here there's some more interior details. You can see some chairs here, and here are some longer benches. And if we move more to the left, we have more chairs and more detailing. Here the bogies look very nice, and these wheels also do look very nice. It looks the same on the other side. Just like I said many times before, here's gangway, here's the more piping, here's the couplings, and there's more wires. The back is very simple. Here at the front, it's literally the exact same detailing. Here you can add the accessory, here's Deutsche Bahn, here's locomotive number, here's the windshield wiper, there's the chair, and there is the controls and the 3 headlamps, which look very nice. So nothing too different. The middle part is the difference, and that's it. Alright, so for coupling up the wagons, you have this little gadget, the accessory they give you. You have to put it under the coupling. So here we have it. To put it under the coupling here. Make sure there's a bit of space. You grab it and you push the other wagon into it. Now it's not fully coupled yet. It takes a bit of finagling, but you'll get there in the end. Alright, I've put the train on the layout. I will now be going through all of the MFX functions.
Guten Tag, meine sehr geehrten Damen und Herren. Wir begrüßen Sie im Franken-Thüringen-Express auf der Fahrt von Nürnberg Hauptbahnhof nach Saalfeld. Sehr geehrte Fahrgäste, beachten Sie bitte noch folgenden Hinweis. Unser Regionalexpress besteht aus 2 Zugteilen. Der Zugteil an der Zugspitze RE14 fährt dann ab Bamberg weiter nach Saalfeld und der zweite Zugteil am Zugschluss RE20 wird in Bamberg abgekuppelt und verkehrt dann weiter als Regionalexpress nach Würzburg Hauptbahnhof. Wir wünschen eine angenehme Fahrt. Unser nächster planmäßiger Halt ist Fürth Bayern Hauptbahnhof. Unser nächster fahrplanmäßiger Halt ist Lichtenfels. Unser nächster Halt ist Kronach. Unser nächster Halt ist Bretternitz. Sehr geehrte Fahrgäste, in wenigen Minuten erreichen wir dann unseren Zug-Endbahnhof Saalfeld. Sehr geehrte Fahrgäste, wir erreichen dann in Kürze Nürnberg Hauptbahnhof. Der Zug endet hier, wir bitten alle Fahrgäste auszusteigen, die Zugfahrt endet. Wir erreichen Nürnberg auf Gleis 4, der Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung rechts. Unser nächster fahrplanmäßiger Halt ist Fürth Bayern Hauptbahnhof.
SIFA, Brandalarm. AFB, AFB, Brandalarm. Fahrgastnotbremse. Gleis 4, Abschnitt C bis F, Einfahrt RE14, Ankunft 11:19 Uhr. Zug wird in Bamberg geteilt, Vorsicht bei der Einfahrt.
Guten Morgen, 4983, alles in Ordnung, ich übernehme.
Guten Tag, verehrte Fahrgäste. Das Lok- und Zugpersonal von Desiro Bayern begrüßt Sie im Franken-Thüringen-Express auf der Fahrt von Nürnberg Hauptbahnhof nach Saalfeld mit dem Zugteil nach Würzburg Hauptbahnhof über Fürth, Erlangen, Forchheim, Hirscheid und Bamberg. Wir wünschen Ihnen eine angenehme Fahrt. Unser nächster fahrplanmäßiger Halt ist Fürth Bayern Hauptbahnhof. Sehr geehrte Fahrgäste, in wenigen Minuten erreichen wir dann unseren Zug-Endbahnhof Saalfeld an der Saale. Wir erreichen dann Saalfeld auf Gleis 3, der Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung rechts, das Lok- und Zugpersonal von Desiro Bayern. Wir verabschieden uns von allen Fahrgästen, wünschen eine angenehme Weiterfahrt, einen schönen Tag, auf Wiederschauen.
Und der 4983 ist gekuppelt. Bei mir ist alles in Ordnung. Ich wünsche euch eine gute Fahrt und eine ruhige Schicht.
Fahrgastnotbremse, Fahrgastnotbremse. SIFA.
Alright, those are all the functions. Now I'm going to drive it around the layout and I'll give you a look of how it looks when driving.
Gleis 4, Abschnitt C bis F, Einfahrt RE14, Ankunft 11:19 Uhr. Zug wird in Bamberg geteilt, Vorsicht bei der Einfahrt.
Sehr geehrte Fahrgäste, in wenigen Minuten erreichen wir dann unseren Zug in Bahnhof Saalfeld. Fahrgäste, wir erreichen dann in Kürze Nürnberg Hauptbahnhof. Der Zug endet hier. Wir bitten alle Fahrgäste auszusteigen. Die Zugfahrt endet. Wir erreichen Nürnberg auf Gleis 4. Der Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung rechts.
Alright, well, it's time for the ratings. I have 4 categories to rate this locomotive on. Detail, performance, functions, and value, of course. First, detail. 9.5 out of 10. Very good. All the details are nice. The roof detailing is some of the best I've seen on any loco, but I have 2 ifs with it. The nose is slightly dark grey on the front and it turns into light grey on the body. And the interior, where the engine is, there's a huge grey block, which kind of makes it look very weird and unrealistic. But for the rest, it's very nice. Performance, I've given an 8. As you can see here, it slightly jumps on the start. You don't notice it as much as on camera as you notice it in real life, but for the rest it runs beautifully. But when you want to start off on the station, you want to go very, very slow, and this locomotive cannot really crawl at very slow speeds. But for the rest, it runs nicely. It can go 160 kilometers per hour, which is reasonable, and I think for the rest it's all good. Functions, a 10 out of 10. Very easy. It has 31 functions, which is 1 function away from having the max amount of functions physically possible on the Märklin model, at least of recording this video. They might increase it in the future, which is very impressive. It's the most amount of functions any of my locos have, and all of them are very nice. So 10 out of 10. It's the easiest 10 out of 10 I've ever given. So for value, I have an 8.5. You get a lot. You get 4 well-detailed wagons with lighting and a lot of MFX functions, 31 as mentioned before. But I take just a small bit of issue. There's a model by Union recently released, also Desiro HC, for 550 euros. Personally, I don't have it, so I can't fairly compare it, but they both seem of similar quality. That's why the value is slightly knocked down. But you still get a lot of stuff, so it's still pretty worth it. This rounds up to a final rating of 9 out of 10. Very impressive. This makes it the 2nd highest rated locomotive that I have reviewed. So, that's all folks. Hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.